Okay, delighted to welcome you here today. We are welcoming Maria Lema from the Weaver Labs. Maria is the CEO and founder of Weaver Labs, and I also believe the sponsors of the SoccerX studio here. So, Maria, could you just introduce yourself and also introduce Weaver Labs as well? Tell us a little bit about the business.
Well, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to sponsor this. And yeah, so Weaver Labs is a telecommunications startup born out of the UK, and we bring innovation into telecoms with software. We create a product called CellStack, which is in complicated terms a network automation tool, an orchestration tool. But what it means is a software layer that allows to integrate telco infrastructure with edge cloud computing and creates platforms for connectivity. We support primarily private networks, and it's a no-brainer that places like stadiums and high density demand venues require a layer of connectivity with a layer of added value services. And that's what we support with our product.
In simple terms, what's wrong with a lot of stadia at the moment, and what's wrong with a lot of the connectivity, and what do Weaver Labs offer to actually provide a much better service?
I think what's wrong with connectivity in general is that we have put the pressure on building connectivity to very few companies in the planet. And their incentives are not the same as venue incentives. The user experience from the perspective of a large mobile network operator, it's not the same as of a stadium owner that needs to drive the people in. So we end up looking for solutions, connectivity solutions that kind of solve that problem, like Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a wonderful technology and it's fit for purpose for your home, but it is not fit for purpose when you have 50,000 people trying to connect at the same time. And the problem is that there is no commercial incentives for large scale deployments in stadiums for you to connect with your SIM cards. And we end up at crossroads of what do we do about it? So with technologies like the one that we build, we enable infrastructure owners, such as stadiums, to say, we can own telco connectivity and we can deploy a network and solve that problem of providing fans the experience that they want in the stadium that Wi-Fi cannot deliver.
Now, you've mentioned the cell stack technology. I've taken a little look at that as well. If you could just kind of explain a bit more about that, about the usage of that, and also any particular examples that you've got with Stadia globally or in the UK as well that you've actually worked on.
Yeah, so CellStack is, if you want to say it, it's like a software that glues the infrastructure, the telco infrastructure, with the applications and the services that are going to be delivered. So CellStack reduces the deployment of 5G private networks dramatically. What before would take you months to deliver, CellStack can automate and deploy in weeks or even hours. And it can also deploy applications at scale. And those applications can be AI assistant, can be big data analytics, can be videos that you want to deliver. And all of that is delivered as a software package to the stadiums. Work that we have been doing in the UK, for example, with Milton Keynes Stadium, we delivered a platform which includes a 5G private network, and a series of applications through partnerships with companies like multi-angle camera views, AI assistant that is providing insights in real time, 3D mapping navigation across the venue so that people can find their ways, and ultimately sky's the limit. You can integrate a lot more analytics, insights, not only to support the fans but also to support the teams.
Now, anyone who knows you well knows that you're a very clever person because you're talking about a subject which I think a lot of people know is vital. It's absolutely vitally important for owners, club owners, stadium owners as well. But it's one that not everyone can get a handle on. But you're a great lover of tech. I mean, you really do. Why do you love tech so? And why are you actually? How can you use this love to put into applications that Weaver Labs, produce for companies?
Well, I'm a technologist at heart. I bear the title CEO, but what I am is a researcher and an academic. That's where I come from. I think technology can solve real problems and can drive value into industries and businesses, and that's my background. Before I started Weaver Labs, I was working in an innovation lab trying to understand how could we solve business problems, drive revenue with the use of technology. Digital transformation is here to stay, and we all demand it out there. So driving value with technologies, it's my passion to see how we can actually make an impact and change the world with that. And I do believe that for this particular interest, there is an incredible opportunity to drive the revenue per user with the use of connectivity and technology. And I'm excited to see that journey through.
Well, on that subject, I was going to close by asking you probably the final question that everyone's going to ask you, because it's looking forward, looking ahead to the future. I'm kind of just about grasping the present with technology. What do you see looking 5-10 years ahead in the future? The way that clubs, the way that stadia will have to embrace it. What would they need to do, and what's going to be the future of Weaver Labs with your kind of offerings to come?
I think the future of stadiums and clubs is to drive people back into the stadium, because we're competing with the living room, which is very comfortable and has multiple screens and a lot of instant access to technology. So driving people back means technology in the stadium. So that is the future. How can we give them experiences that are only delivered here? And that the product now is the experience, is not just the game.
No.
So I do believe that the future in the next 5 to 10 years is AI, insights, and instant experience delivered to the fans via networks. Connectivity is the underlying technology to enable all of that. And Weaver Labs is at the center of that, and we can enable it we can convert stadiums in programmable platforms, and we're excited to do that.
Brilliant, Maria. Thank you very much for the conversation today. Thank you very much for also coming to SoccerX Amsterdam, and finally for sponsoring the studio here for the 2 days. So we look forward to catching up with you again, and once again saying thank you very much for having a word with us today.
My pleasure.